So I get this question quite a lot. People talk about if you do individual training and you work hard, you're just going to build confidence by yourself. Is that like natural, or is it just a myth with which people say? So the question is, can hard work alone build confidence for you as a footballer? So the common belief, if you train more, you have more confidence. But there is quite a bit more about it. So what we're gonna solve in this video is if this is true or if this is just a myth, how confidence actually works, and what to do instead of just working hard if you want to maximize your results. So yeah, if you believe this, that hard work is all you need to build confidence, it's most likely you will train really hard but still doubt yourself. Your confidence will become inconsistent, and one bad game or one bad moment in a game and your confidence is gone. So that's quite a big problem. What we're gonna solve though is you're gonna have stable confidence, better performances under pressure, control over your mindset. So what happened for me was I used to struggle with confidence a lot. I used to struggle with my whole performance. You know, I was the hardest worker on the team. I always gave it 100%. I had the most individual training out of my team, always did all the extras, even after every single session. Like, I was the hardest worker, I did the most work. But I wasn't able to transfer this into games. Like, even though I worked super hard, I didn't have the confidence. I didn't trust myself on the field. What changed was I discovered mental training, started to do it, and I started to build more and more emotional control, more and more confidence. I started to enter flow state more and more often. This is what changes when you actually begin doing mental training. The truth is, working hard, having a lot of reps matters. It doesn't guarantee confidence though. So it's a component of confidence to have this evidence, but it's not guaranteeing confidence afterwards. So there are three keys. First, evidence versus interpretation. What I mean by this is the training, the hard work, the repetition, the shots you put in, the passes you make, the amount of them, the technical reps, that is evidence. But confidence is how you interpret this. So you can interpret it in two ways. You can have the same work, same amount of work, but different mindset. And this is gonna separate whether you have confidence or not. So when you interpret it this way, that yes, I did work hard, but in the game you never actually remember or acknowledge that yes, I have done these reps. But when you make a mistake, you suddenly don't believe that you can do the stuff anymore. That's when you're not gonna have confidence. Instead, you need to interpret it this way. You make a mistake, but you go back to all of the reps you've done before and you realize your success rate. Like, if you have a 90% success rate, why would you lose confidence over one single mistake in that rep? It just means, yeah, this was a mistake, some are gonna happen, but the next one is very likely to be good again. So I have confidence in my abilities. Second, lack of pressure in training. So you feel good in training, this is extremely common. But in the game, there is pressure, there is higher expectations, and there is something on the line. So confidence drops if it's not trained properly, obviously. So in the trainings you don't have that pressure, in games you do. Now that's where your mindset really matters, and that's what's going to differ whether you are able to show those skills, that hard work in the games or not. Lastly, no control over your thoughts. So you have overthinking, fear of mistakes, self-doubt, and so on. All of this is also a part of your mindset. So you can work hard, but still have no control over your thoughts. And you're not gonna have confidence then. So, hard work doesn't fix that. If you work harder, if you put in more work, when you're underperforming because of overthinking, fear of mistakes, self-doubt, then it's not going to solve the problem because you're solving something else. If you already have the hard work, then there is something else lacking, and this is exactly mental training. So what should you do now with this information? First, don't rely only on hard work. Second, start training your mind as well. And there are two simple actions I have for you. First, this is called daily wins. What I want you to do is every evening or every morning, write down 3 things you did extremely well that day. It can be anything small, like brushing your teeth on time or leaving your house on time, all the way to like completing a 2-hour session with discipline. So it doesn't really matter. No matter how small, I always need you to find 3 wins. This is gonna build your evidence. This is gonna build your trust in yourself that you actually can do things and that you're a winner. So another way to look at these wins is think of 3 moments that would be like if you were a main character in a movie, like that would be the moments that would get on screen. So 3 most important moments, 3 biggest wins. Second action I want you to do is build awareness of your self-talk and your thoughts. How can you do this? Use mindfulness. So first, way to do mindfulness, you can do meditation 5 minutes per day. Very simple, literally use meditation, and this is the simplest way to train mindfulness. But there are other ways as well. Whenever you're doing a simple action like brushing your teeth, eating your meal, or I don't know, going on a walk, what I want you to do is be 100% present. Realize what you're doing. Feel what you're doing. So for example, when you're eating the food, instead of watching YouTube, be present. Feel the food, feel the taste of the food. When you're on a walk, feel your legs, for example, walking. Feel what's under your legs. Listen to the sounds of birds, of whatever, of traffic around you. Be present, be mindful. This is going to allow you to much easier notice your thoughts. The first step to changing your thoughts and having emotional control is to be able to notice them. So this is the biggest foundation. So again, daily wins, mindfulness. And now, if you want to get started with mental training properly, check out the free course in the description. It's completely free. Just click on it. If you want full support and you're already ready to take the next step, for example, you know how mental training works, you have some basics already, or you straight up want to skip all the hard work and figuring out what works, what doesn't, and get a tailored one-to-one help, the first link in the description, book a call there, and yeah, we can work one-to-one, see if it's a good fit. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment what you liked. If you have any questions, if you didn't understand something, see you in the next one.